Docker has shipped Sandboxes, disposable isolated environments built to run AI coding agents. The idea is simple. Instead of letting an agent loose on your laptop, you give it its own throwaway machine, with only your project folder inside. Let me walk through what it actually is, and how you use it. Here it is, straight from the source. A sandbox is a MicroVM, a lightweight virtual machine, dedicated to one agent. Only your project workspace is mounted into it. The file system is isolated, network access is configurable, and your credentials stay out of the agent's reach. Docker's framing is that the MicroVM is a hard security boundary, not the softer isolation you get from a plain container sharing the host kernel. It ships as a command line tool called SBX. On a Mac, you install it through Homebrew from Docker's tab. On Windows, it is a single winged install. That SBX command is the whole entry point. There is no separate daemon to configure before you can spin an agent up inside a fresh MicroVM. Inside the sandbox, the agent gets a real development environment. It can install packages, rewrite config files, and even start its own Docker containers, all without any of that leaking onto your host. That last point matters. Because it is a genuine environment, and not a stripped stub, the agent can run the same build and test steps it would on your machine. Docker lists a spread of supported coding agents: Claude Code, Gemini CLI, Copilot CLI, Codex, Open Code, and Kiro. So the sandbox is not tied to one vendor's tool. It is meant to be the substrate you drop whichever agent you already use into, and one sandbox can host more than one agent type. The word disposable is the whole design. A sandbox is quick to start and quicker to throw away than a full virtual machine. If an agent makes a mess, you do not clean it up. You discard the sandbox and start fresh. There is also a YOLO mode, the dangerously skip permissions flag, that lets an agent run unattended without stopping to ask for approval. The disposable MicroVM is what makes handing over that much autonomy less reckless. The core is free. On your own machine, you define the file system and network controls yourself. For teams, a paid tier called Docker AI Governance layers on centralized enforcement, network policies, file system rules, and MCP governance applied across an organization rather than each developer setting their own. That split, free for individuals, paid for org-wide control, is the business model here. So, a disposable MicroVM per agent, with only your project mounted, installed as the SBX command, working across the major coding agents, thrown away rather than cleaned up, and free at the core with a paid governance tier for teams. The theme is giving an autonomous agent room to work without giving it your machine. That is today's AI Daily. Subscribe to BirenAI and ship smarter with AI. See you in the next one.